Okay for boys to cry? The traditional notions of masculinity can have a far-reaching impact on the well-being and relationships of many young boys and eventually grown men.
Our sons, brothers and fathers for generations have been taught by society to toughen up. Don't show your feelings and wear a mask of strength. But have you ever wondered the impact of that notion on them as they grow up?
Indeed, and that's why it's on the front burner today, because these expectations can also impact their emotions. Sometimes they are led to suppress their emotions, and we all know what this can do to the mental health, and God knows what else.
Now, for men, what does it look like to be vulnerable? What does vulnerability look like for men? And how do we begin to break this so-called chain of masculinity in men? Anyway, we'll be answering these questions and more on today's amazing episode of your favorite weekend show, Weekend Deal, coming to you from the network service of the NTA. I am Patience Eloy Abba, and don't forget, we're streaming live on TikTok and Instagram at NTA Network.
Indeed, my name is Thelma Obaze. I want to tell you today that the Boys Don't Cry narrative is more than just about men or even the boys themselves. It's about building a society where everyone can thrive in their most authentic self. Our program, Weekend Deal, welcomes your contribution every time, and today is no different.
It's a favorite weekend show, and today we're exploring the emotional side of men. We all grew up with the phrase, boys don't cry. But let me ask you one question. What if they did? What if we raise men who are in touch with their emotions and can express it? Well, to answer these questions and more is our show starter, and it's a contribution by Emeka, and it's focused on what makes a man cry.
I have always heard people say, men don't cry. But in my reading history, Jesus Christ wept. So when a divine has shown emotions, why is the mortal stereotyped? Men are emotional beings. I have seen them cry when their children are troubled. Life is sacred. Men are not different. They will preserve life whenever they can, and sorrow helpless when death takes away anyone they care for. For those who believe in the care and wisdom of a divine, man is on earthly errand. These divine advocates say he was created to occupy and be fruitful, with a life to explore, possess, and build under labor and sweat. He has remained of this kind. It has been this way from the days of old, but his approach to the life of possession and building is what keeps changing. Many years ago, a man's wealth was assessed by the size of his yam barn, the cattle, chickens, and economic trees seen in his compound showed his accomplishments. The number of wives and children he leaves behind after death becomes legacy. In his life today, the value, character in him is shaped by his self-belief and the influence of his environment. His new way is that of teacher, learner, and struggles to be better. Over time, the perception of who a man is has been changing. Beliefs are now personal in thoughts and of diverse opinions. There was an era of physical stature and muscles, but now the physical look of a man is only noticed. His problem-solving ability is most important. Culture of physical hard work to earn a living, giving way to earning in comfort, and even while on vacation, his money is working for him. he has become more intelligent. Men at large, yet building empires from social relations, leaving legacies and good names that open doors for their generations. The provider roles are not abandoned, but could be slowed down sometimes, which doesn't mean he's not good enough. The man is walking away from leading with intimidation, position, and a shouting voice to a man of team spirit and mentorship. Empathy is in the new man. Influence is acquired by him and is now an outlook to life. The human is influenced by thoughts of the mind. Being a man is in the mind. Being a man comes with responsibilities. The man continues to evolve.
Indeed, wasn't that amazing? Emeka, that was so in-depth. And you took us way, way back, because sometimes for us to fully comprehend what is happening in our time, we need to go back into history and things that happened before we were here. It's okay for men to show their emotional side. We women will tell you, it doesn't make you less of a man. Well, one gentleman is coming in now to give us some expert experience and analysis and to talk about, is it okay for boys to cry? He is Major Philip Olumide. He is the CEO of Refuge Security Company Limited and a retired military officer. Major Fadipe, we welcome you today. Great to have you with us on the show. And it will interest you to know that he's the former CSO to late Lieutenant General Oladipo Dia of blessed memory, who at the time was the Chief of General Staff in Nigeria. So we have Army royalty in our midst today. But we'll take our next feature. We're going to NTA Asaba. And there's much talk about the healing power of crying. I won't do it like patience, so Asaba, take it from me.
Sounds like the boy. It is a boy.
Have you ever felt like you are carrying a weight you just can't shake? For many people, emotional burdens can feel overwhelming. But what happens when we allow ourselves to express those emotions through tears?
When we cry, it helps to relieve us from those feelings that we are experiencing. It helps to calm us down. When we cry, the body releases hormones, feel-good hormones that help us to feel better.
Men rarely show emotion or cry, largely due to the societal expectation that they must be tough and unemotional.
The team worked seriously to see, but at the end, we.
But what about my wife?
We lost her.
God, no.
It's not the
Not my wife.
It's not
My
the end
wife.
of his life.
God. Oh,
Nurse, can you please give me a hand here, please?
Meet Raymond and Essie, who shed tears despite society's expectations of male masculinity.
March 2020, my wife had a miscarriage, and after the miscarriage, it was discovered that she had incompetent cervix, and there's a medical procedure that can be done to correct it, which is called cerclage. So after some months, she took in again, and we did the medical procedure after 12 to 13 weeks. And unfortunately for us, she lost the baby again around October that same year. To go through that pain twice in a year, at that point, I could not hold myself. I had to cry. It was not a funny experience. Watching her in pain, and I cannot do anything to help her. So it broke me down, and I had to express myself, and I had to cry out so that I would feel better.
When I lost my mom, I could not hold myself. Yes, the death of my mom actually made me to cry. I could not hold myself back. I burst out in tears, not minding what society we say. Even at the place when we took her to the mortuary, the presence of person, I know many will say, why is this man crying this way?
Research shows that crying has numerous benefits for both mental and physical health.
When we suppress our emotions, we inadvertently put ourselves in the pathway to any form of mental health condition. It could be depression. If we don't talk about it, it keeps building up. But when we talk about it, we feel better, we feel lighter.
As men begin to open up about their emotions, they often experience a sense of liberation.
Crying did not actually solve the problem, but I felt this like that weight on my heart was softened.
I think after expressing myself to bringing out my tears, these emotions within me, I felt relief.
When people come in to see me for therapy, and a lot of times as they're trying to narrate their experiences, some are trying to talk about some history of abuse, some are talking about history of domestic violence. During the process they talk, and after a while they pause and they put their head down. I know that they want to cry, but they don't want to actually appear like being weak. So I tell them, please cry if you want to. So sometimes they take a break, maybe like 2-3 minutes, they cry. When they are done, then we talk. And I get to hear at the end of the session that they felt better when they cried. So of course, there's an advantage to it.
The weight of tears can be crushing, but it can also be liberating. Embracing our emotions and allowing ourselves to express them brings freedom and healing to our health.
So sorry, my brother. So sorry. I understand.
Take it if you want, if you strive hard. You can be everybody's born a winner. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If only you just believe, oh yeah. Close your eyes and come and see it now, yeah, yeah. Don't you worry about a thing now. 'Cause if you work hard, you can take it if you want. If you strive hard, you can be just what you want. If you work hard, you can climb the mountain top. 'Cause nothing is too small, and nothing is too big. Who you're mayor, who you're mayor, oh, who you're mayor, Leo sound, who you're mayor, who you're mayor, oh, who you're mayor, Leo sound,
Of that voice, the strength of that voice, amazing. Okay, so welcome back. we'll be seeing the profile of that gentleman, that officer that walked in. Let's see his profile, then the conversation proper will begin. Oh, sir, you're welcome to
Major
Weekend
Fadipa,
Jail.
it's great to have you join us on our show today.
Thank you very much.
An amazing entrance you made there.
Wow.
And we're happy to tell a bit of your history.
Thank you.
I know you've been filling us in behind the scenes, but before we go into some of the personal stories, and I'm sure we nourish our conversation, let's take it from the top. How our boys are raised. You know, sometimes even our actions, simulations, gesticulations, before we even say it, make young men, young boys, even from adolescents, feel that they become less of themselves when they shed tears. Have we been doing it right all the time?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because it's like when you're training the girl child and the boy child, it's like parents put more attention on the girl child. Because they believe that once a girl misses her steps, it might not be able to be recovered. But for boys, they believe boys should be stronger. And they believe now that boys should take after their father. So most times, women, okay, for instance now, a lot of parents don't believe men should cook. But like my late wife, even as young as my boy was the second child, there's no way she will be in the kitchen and my boy will sit in front of the telly or doing other things. My wife will tell him, if it means taking things for me, you have to be there with me.
Nice.
So she taught him how to cook as well as the girls.
Nice.
And she would tell him, when you finish your food, the girls are not your slaves. But in some homes that I've seen, the boy is like a big boy, even as small as the boy might be. They will cook for him. She'll finish eating. The girls will pack the plates. And I don't think it's right. I have a brother, not my direct brother, but like that was my brother-in-law. When he was growing up, they didn't allow him. Especially, is it the mom or the dad? I don't know. But it's like anytime he wants to eat, girls go and cook for him. He grew up, he couldn't even, he finds it difficult to even boil water. Let me put it that way. So I think in training the children, the same attention should be given as we are giving attention to the girl child, we should be giving attention to the boy child. Because you are making the boy to feel larger than life before he's grown. And when he's grown, he feels there's something about him. Even when he's going through stress, he wants to keep it to himself. Oh, I'm a strong man. I'm not supposed to shed tears. It's only women that can cry. I think it's the orientation from the beginning.
So gender, like we always say, gender continues to be a social construct.
Exactly.
Yes, it's a social construct. And that cooking is a survival skill, not a gender role.
My boy stays alone now. If he does not know how to cook, nobody will cook for him.
Exactly. But sir...
Or he spend his time on the streets.
On the streets, eating fast food.
Yes.
Yeah, most times, there are particular food I will want to eat. I will ask him to make it because he does it better than even the girls.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's the truth.
Amazing.
Nice.
Okay, so in the military, I'm excited that you're training, you're soldiers, you're
Yes,
training.
by the grace of God.
Yes. Do soldiers cry? Are they allowed to feel emotions?
Well, you should know that a man, every man is an emotional being.
Okay.
You might not be able to showcase it openly.
Okay.
But the fact that you can go to the corner, like when we were in the academy, there will be a time that you'll be tired of the training. It's like you want to run away. So the only time when you get to your room, you think about it, you just let yourself out.
You cry?
You cry. But before you go out, you have cleaned your face
Your
and
eyes and all that.
Yes.
So there's still this macho thing. My friends
sure.
can't see me.
You cry.
So we are still crying in secret.
Yeah, men cry in secret.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be a beautiful thing for you to cry out and your friends surround you, all of you cry together like we do as women? If they want me to, they want me. We all cry and then go. Why don't you do that as men? Why?
I don't know. I think that's the orientation from, that's how men are brought up. And that's why I said for some people, you can't just, and in an environment that they cherish boys more than girls, they try to pamper those boys. And that pampering, the boy grows with the pampering.
Yes.
So he sees himself the way he's seen the dad.
Yes.
Oh, big man in the house. I mean, even when the father is going through some challenges, he keeps it to himself.
Yes.
The boy is seeing it, and the boy wants to do like, be like the father. So, but if men are allowed, they will cry out.
Yes.
Just like when, like I was telling you, when my wife died. Okay, the first time I actually cried was when I was arrested. And the cry was a cry of regret. Oh, my beautiful military career. Is this the way I'm going to end it?
Wow.
Then it now struck me that you are not only losing your career, your life might go with it. Because if you are arrested for coup.
So you now, but did you weep publicly?
No, not publicly. I tried as much as possible not to weep publicly. You know why? I don't want to be broken down.
Okay.
And I don't want a situation where I want to betray myself.
Okay.
So I need to carry that strong me.
Okay. But if we have, we'll go back into history because it's very interesting and it can impact us all. Yeah. But, you know, women too, because we have hardly seen men cry, apart from rare cases, our brothers, maybe extended family, you know, we may not even know how to support when a man, when he opens up. What ought we to do? Like, whether you're even crying in secret, the way you described your relationship, at some point, a madam can see her sir weeping because she's clueless. She's never seen him shed tears. She wouldn't even know what to do. What do you think women ought to do?
Well, let me start from this angle. I tell people, please, marry your friend. What I mean friends is not like when you are together.
Yes, somebody.
But even there are some friends that are deeper than brothers. So I regard some friends more than brothers because you might be my friend. As a brother, you might not be my friend. You might be hurting me. But there is a friend out there that is more than a brother. Now, if you have your friend as your wife, let me use my wife as a typical example. The way I sit, my wife sees me and he knows what I'm going through. Most times he will tell me, say, I know you more than yourself. Oftentimes my wife tells me that. Especially when I just came out of detention. Okay, there was a time I challenged her. I said, if I said I want to open business center, she will support me. If I want to do this, she will support me. One day I called her. I said, how come everything I want you support me? He said, I'm even happy that you are coming out of your shell because I know you love that military war very well. And losing it, I don't want it to affect you. So I want to make sure I help you to come out of that so that you can move on in life.
Wow.
Do you get what I'm saying? Now, because she studies me and she even understands me more than I think I understand myself.
Okay, the takeaway is marry somebody who will truly be your friend,
Exactly.
who understands
Exactly.
you. And of course, women should be sensitive. When your man is vulnerable, pull him close. We'll go on the break. There's more to come.
This is Weekendale, your effervescent breakfast show. And today we're talking about something that for a long time has been pushed under the carpet. Perhaps we felt it wasn't important, but it is. Everything that concerns our society, our children, our brothers, our fathers, it concerns everyone. Is it okay for boys to cry? And if boys don't cry when they are boys, when they are men, will it be comfortable for them to show emotion? Our second guest is here. He's been here before. He is Dr. Femi Lanre-Oke. He's a life coach and a pastor, amongst many other interesting things that we add to our robust conversation. But first, let's see his profile.
Welcome, Dr. Okay, to Weekendale once again. Okay, let me the conversation has already started, and I'll just come straight and ask, do you think boys/men should cry?
Yeah, they should actually. It's a way of expressing emotions.
Okay.
And when we shut those emotions, it has its own implications in their journey thereafter. So many things, it can affect them. They cannot express, they will now need to not hide themselves. They can't even identify emotions. So it affects their self-worth thereafter. And not only that, it also accepts their relationship with others, even with their spouses. Yeah, because they can't even, when it affects their self-worth, they don't feel comfortable when they need an emotion is to be expressed. So they withdraw. And it can lead to suicide. They can come into excessive thinking, anxiety, depression, because they've not learned how to express their emotion. So what I'm saying is not that men should be encouraged to cry. What I'm saying is that it's not that they should cry all the time, but that the emotional toolkit can be expanded. So they know how to label what and how to handle what and what. Everybody is, we're emotional beings, although women are more emotional than the men. But then does not mean we should now kill the emotions of the men because we want them to appear strong. So when they even need help, they can't say it out. When they need to see a doctor, they can't say it. When they need to see a therapist, they can't say it. Because they've been trained that a man should not show signs of emotions. That's a wrong teaching, a wrong doctrine. And that can also affect their mental health.
Thank you, Dr. Lanre-Oke. Major Fadipe, we've been here, we've been watching it, you know, from our great-grandmothers, our mothers, they've been doing it that way. But we're sitting up now and saying, with our sons, with our nephews, with our, you know, even husbands, can we begin to do it differently? Were we to say we want to do it differently now, what angle, what options, first of all, are available to us as women and also the men themselves? Because even though we are saying we can change the narrative a bit, we will meet some kind of resistance because this has been the practice for quite a bit.
Okay. Let me start from here. In those days when you beat a child, even up till now, and the boy wants to cry, you say, shut up, don't cry. And the boy is pained. And you are still telling him, if you cry, I will beat you more. So he bottles this up. So we should start from there. When you beat a child, allow that child to express that pain. So from there, he will know that he's not an extraordinary being. He has emotion, and he should be able to express that emotion. And like I said initially, I said, the way we train the boy child and the girl child should not be different.
Yes.
Because there is this fear that, oh, if I don't take care of this girl very well, if anything happens to her tomorrow, oh, they will blame me. let me still mention, because I know my own family, I might not know the other person. When my first child was growing up, in fact, it's like, oh, if they used to argue together, you can't take my husband from me. I'm just telling you how close we were with my daughter. But when she became 10, when she turned 10, we were on vacation. And my wife said, look, that house help is not coming back. And I said, why? What did you? He said, nothing. Don't you know your girl is already 10? I said, and so? He said, no, she can't be 10 and we have housemaid. She has to do everything herself. Do you understand? I wanted to
object
to agree against it. He said, nah, please don't get involved. If anything happened to this girl tomorrow, nobody will blame you. They will blame me. Do you understand? So we should give the same attention to the boys too. But a lot of family, especially in this side of in my own place in the south, they cherish men above women. It's like they want to pamper those men. You don't have to pamper them. Let them grow the way you are training the girl's child too. I think once we start from there, the boys will know that they are not superhero. Do you get what I'm saying now? So we should start from there. Let's look at the way we train them and give them equal attention.
Dr. K, do you think that there's a link between this cultural conditioning, that's what I would call it, with the rise of depression in our society these days? A lot of people are falling into depression. Is there a link?
Yeah, there is, because actually there is no way you can hide emotion. Emotions don't go. If you suppress it, it will come in another form. You can't just say, well, I'm tense, I'm suppressing emotion, I'm not allowing it to come forth, and you think it is gone. No, emotions will not go. They can come to become depression. They can come as to affect the stress hormone, that you look so stressed. They can even come in such a way that you forget, you have loss of memory. So when emotion is suppressed and not allowed to be expressed, it still comes back because it's not gone. Emotions don't just go like that. They pent up somewhere, they hide somewhere, and they manifest in negative way. So this rate of depression we have is part of it. Even some so-called sickness, stroke, and all things, they can be piled up of this kind of emotion that is not allowed to be expressed. So we've taught or raised men wrongly, thinking that they are not emotional beings and they are not allowed to express emotions. But we don't know we are killing them, killing their self-worth. And there are red flags that when we begin to see young boys probably withdraw to themselves for too long, and they just don't want to be seen. They may feel like the world is better off without me. So when they begin to do that kind of withdrawal, or when they begin to fail a particular subject that they used to excel in before, just check in. Probably there are red flags we should look at. Probably we've not allowed them to express emotion the way they should. And this thing is now piling up, affecting so many other things in their system.
Indeed. You know, for every good thing, there's a downside.
Sure.
In as much as we are discussing it, there are men who have been described as too emotional.
Sure.
They are too emotional. They even cry more. The woman becomes the iron. Any small thing he's breaking down. Any small thing he has packed up. You even hear some of the mothers tell their children, don't let daddy know, I beg. Don't worry, let us see how we can micromanage here. And by the time he hears, of course, we'll pack up again because they know he's going to break down. So what causes that? And how can we now strike a balance?
Yeah, well, for me, I would say that so many factors. Number one, it can be hormonal. Because by design, a woman, you know, there was a time they did a research on a woman's brain. They saw so many spots of emotions on her. And by the time the same research was done on a man, they only saw 2 spots. That the woman is several times emotional. Everything about a woman is emotions. Even in talking to her, in buying her a gift, even when a woman is communicating, she's communicating from her emotions. A man will talk from logic because he's just in reasoning. He just wants this. That's why when a man is talking, he's talking to pass information. When a woman is talking, she's talking to fellowship. So, and there are 2 different things because she's completely emotional. But you can have some cases where it is the reverse, where the men are now super emotional, which is not the norm. Those are exceptional. And then number 2 can be upbringing. We have people who grew up basically with their mother, and they don't have a father figure role. I always advise single mothers that no matter what, even if their father is not present, make sure there's a fatherly covering over that girl. Either your older brother or something, because it will have effects thereafter. Yeah, either a male or a female. You can easily tell from a male who grew under a mother without a father's presence. Or if the father is an absent father, you will see the thing, it's glaring. Because he now tends to be more like the mother, like becoming like a man. So you could see that factor. So environmental factor, so many things can be responsible for something like that, yeah.
You want to add something?
So it's like when you have
becoming like a man.
a
So you could see that factor.
boy child as a first child of the family, you discover that the next child, maybe a girl, will always want to behave like that boy. So he takes after him, whatever he does, that's what she will want to do. So if care is not taken, the girl will be like a tomboy. So just to add to what you have said now, is the upbringing matters also.
It's very critical.
Okay.
Yes.
So for men who have been silent, and when I say silent, these men who have not expressed any emotion, not even joy. The last time they laughed was when they were 9 months old and somebody did that. That was the last time they actually laughed because somebody tickled them at 9 months. They have been like this. For men like that, they might be watching us. How can they unlearn this silence? How can they now, at this age, they are 50, they are 40, they are even 30. How can they begin to get in touch with their feelings? Is it possible, or for them it's a done deal?
It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. There is, in learning, you can learn and unlearn. And there's some things you need to now undo, your belief system. Such people, at times, I recommend mentoring for them. Probably they have people they look up to, and those can talk to them about mental issues and tell them there's nothing wrong in expressing emotions. Not that because there's nothing wrong, men should now cry all the time. No, it's just that we're expanding the emotional toolkit. You can label, this is how I'm feeling, and you can also look for help and say, it is not weakness to say I need help. Because some men believe that it's a sign of weakness. So they bottle up everything. Even when they need help, they feel like, how can I talk to somebody that I need help? And that is why even in therapies and counseling, you see more women coming to church for counseling than a man. A man feels like, I can't be expressing that there's a problem. A woman wants to admit she's an emotional being, and she can express it. Expressing emotion for a woman is part of who she is. But a man feels like, even if there's a problem at home, I don't need to tell him, Pastor. If there's a problem at home, why should I talk to a therapist? A therapist is a man like myself. Why will I do that? Now, that is because he's been trained. But now we need to reorientate and say, look, there's nothing wrong. Don't kill yourself. These emotions don't go. If you have it and you keep it and suppress it, it's not going away. It's coming back as maybe as a stress hormone, coming back as depression, coming back to affect your mental health, coming back to affect your kidney and every part of your... Express these emotions. So when we do those orientation like we're doing today now, it can help some men to now say, okay, let me actually come. It's not a sign of weakness. It's strength, actually.
You can even help us by spreading the message in your own community, which is the church. If you have men around you,
very essential.
Yes,
the clinical mental health people, people don't patronize them in this part of the world.
There's a stigma attached. If you say you have mental health issues, your friends and family could easily disappear.
The interpretation of such is different from what it is, actually.
Yes,
exactly.
Indeed.
So that stigma, I think, is the issue.
We should also, even with men showing emotion, some fellow men will look down on them, say, hello, what just happened? Meanwhile, they would love to have the ability to do that. Well, there's some good news for us now. There's a lady in Lagos, the first female mechanic in Nigeria, Sanda Agwebo. She grew up amongst men, is particularly close to her father, and is raising sons. And also, she had the singular privilege to start a profession that had been dominated by men. So she faced quite a lot of emotions. I don't know if she cries, though, because she was telling me that she drove from Benin to Lagos just like 2 days ago on her own. That's an uncommon trait. So she must be quite a tough person. But let's explore a woman's angle, because she believes that it's okay for men to cry. Her profile is next.
Hey, hello, Madam Sandra Aguebo. Okay. I mean, Thelma read out your profile, and that was amazing. That was truly amazing. My first question to you will be, how do you feel when you see a man being vulnerable around you? How do you react to that sort of vulnerability?
Okay, while we wait for Lagos
Okay,
to
Lagos.
stabilize
Okay.
and hear from Madam Sandra, let me ask Pastor Femi something. When last did you cry?
It's been a while. To be honest, I can't even remember when.
Do you segment the amount of times? Do you say, okay, it must be 5 years, oh, I don't want to be,
No.
or it must be when somebody passes on?
Well, even when someone passes on, you see people who says, I remember when my dad died, that was over 20 years ago, thereabouts. My friend would say, you're a man, you shouldn't cry. Yeah. You're a man, you can't cry like a woman. It looks like a validation of strength. I say, okay, we're the strong people. But
The brotherhood will be sad if you cry. The brotherhood will be disappointed.
Yeah, you shouldn't cry. And it makes sense then. Yeah. You feel like, that's true. A man should not cry. But I think it's wrong. Yeah, because thereafter, but today I've seen people who, maybe when they cry, people say, allow them cry.
But what happened when you didn't cry? Did he come back later to haunt you,
Of course,
bite
it comes
you?
thinking for years. Until I was able to now overcome. So I got to understand that emotions suppressed don't go away. They find a way in another way and it can be very dangerous. So it's good when you allow people now express it. Of course, we should be able to also tell people how to manage their emotions, because you can overdo. Because you want to express it, you shouldn't overdo it. But then we should be encouraged to express it, because it is not a sign of weakness like people will take it to be. People will think that when you show those kind of things, you are being weak. If somebody is down and say, it's getting too much now, say, it is 2 days ago, you should be over it by now. You shouldn't be over it. Let this thing go by the way it should be. If not, you will now, after 5-10 years, now come and be treating another issue. And you may, at that time, you won't be able to link it.
You will not link it.
Yeah.
Okay. Today in the society, we are dealing with a lot of ills. As far as insecurity is concerned, people acting like they don't have hearts, especially some men. Can you also still link it with the fact that they never expressed emotion, so they're not even emotional? Why somebody can come into a room and unalive human beings and walk away? Can that be attributed to bottled up emotions for over time?
Yeah, it could be. Because sometimes...
Kidnappings and all.
Yeah, you need help. Instead of you sharing with other people, you're not sharing it, and that thing is bottling up in you. So the next time someone introduces something to you without thinking twice, because you just want a way out, you join. And I experienced this while I was in prison. Because I tried to talk to some of these prisoners and those awaiting trials. And I saw a young man. I said, look, why are you into crime? He said, well, he's from a broken home, and he's been looking for help, but he does not know how to go about it. But unfortunately for him, anytime he cries, people say, no, don't worry, help will come. Now, which help will come from where? Until one day, somebody just took him out. I want to help you. Not knowing they were going for robbery.
Wow.
Do you understand? And the first time, he was arrested at the scene of crime. So I'm sure if he had been able to come out to other people and say, look, this is what I'm going through, and no other person shuts him down, because according to him, he was telling them, he said, no, don't worry, help will come. Help just not just come like that. So a lot of people, at the end of the day, that bottling up, when it snaps, they will not think back. They will just go straight because they believe that is the only way they can express what is.
After all, society failed you.
Exactly. And that's exactly what they will say. Oh, and they begin to talk about this government, this place here. You understand? Not knowing that there are things you'll have shared with people. And people also, there are ways people will come to you. Even if you don't have something ready to give them, encourage them in the right way.
We have a duty.
Yes. Like I used to have a cosmate. Thank God he left service as a major general. He had some issue because the brother was involved in a national problem. And I think we were major then. And because of his own brother's connection, nobody wanted to trust him in service again. So they keep posting they can take him to a unit today. In about a week or so, they take him to another unit. And we were friends. So I called him. Boy, your brother has done his own to a level of international recognition. Don't allow this to affect you. Just keep the focus.
Stay strong.
Do you understand? I can't help him, but the only thing I could do was to encourage him positively.
And if he wants to, we could weep a little.
Oh, I'm
and
sure
let out all the tension.
I'm sure he will have done that.
But keep marching on.
Yes.
So even when we are weeping, in figuratively and literally, don't weep forever. You cry because you want to let out pent-up emotions.
Because if you cry forever, you cannot reason.
Can't even focus. Can't focus.
Yes.
Okay, I'm told that Lagos is ready. Madam Sandra Gwebo, we're coming to you now. Of course, we've talked about the topic before now. Is it okay for boys to cry? I know you have sons, you have brothers. Tell us about what you are inculcating, what you are teaching them about emotions and being open in private and also in public.
Morning. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Abuja. Sandra Agwebo is my name, the first lady mechanic in Nigeria. Of course, I have sons, and of course, I have siblings that are boys. I will start with my own sons. They've seen their mother growing up. They've seen me wearing my coveralls to the garage to fix cars. And when I say, when you're talking about emotions during, when you are at home with children is different from the emotions you take into the garage. I will tell you, being a female mechanic, your emotions at home, you can't take it to your clients in the workshop. So we are strong women when it comes to that. We really don't let our emotion, dive out when we are hungry or something. But I've always told the boys that, you know what? It's okay for you to let out things that bothers you, and of course, you can cry over it at times. Men cry, but they cry at their own corner, not to be seen by anybody when they are crying. But it's okay to do that. They do that like women as well. So it's not that only women that have those emotions that can only cry, but men also cry to relieve those pains. It's okay to do that when you feel heavy in your heart, and when you do this, you are relaxed and you can then let go.
Madam Sandra, you're amazing. So if being a woman, you know how we are emotional, and then you're in a space where they are basically dominated by men. When you get emotional once in a while, maybe when you were training, I know how that training can be, and your guy maybe lashes out on you or something. Would you hold back your emotions, or did you ever cry among these men? And when you did, what was their reaction? Let's say you got emotional and you cried. Something happened, especially as a younger mechanic. How did the men, what was their reaction when you started crying? Did they just walk away, or did they run to you? Or did they run to you?
During my years of training in the garage, in the 80s, then it was like a taboo, you know, for you to find women in the garage learning how to fix cars. In the 80s, when I was in the workshop, I was given a nickname by the men in the garage when we were training. And when they gave me this nickname, and I said, what was that name? And they said, oh, it's your name, just to embarrass me or see how I'll feel. And I told them, you know what? You don't call me that name anymore in this workshop. If you call me that name, I'm going to give you your own name. And they said, okay, let's see how it goes. But because I was the only woman, I've been, when you have a dream, and that dream is the kind of job you want to become or what you want to do, but because it has been ordained that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, being a female mechanic, that has fortified me already. Like I've been embalmed that when you go into the workshop, what you are going to see is different from what you find from your siblings at home. No joke. So when they start calling you that name, you know what? You stand firm and say, you know what? You take your time right now. I don't think I like that. You don't have to cry. But you can be angry. When you are angry, they think, oh, she doesn't like it. Some will want to still bully. Bully starts from the shop, the workshop. And when they do that, because you know what you are doing, by the time you start learning, and you are learning faster than them, you can order them, you know what, go and give me that jack. Help me jack that car. You know, please, help me take that screwdriver. Remove something for me from that, you know, the clip or something. You start earning respect in the workshop. Definitely, the first time you get in there, there are emotions for you to just say, don't do this with me. I don't take this nonsense from nobody. I don't take this from nobody. They'll start looking. They want to see that body language. And when they see that, they now stay on their lane. You become friends. When they say one thing, you tell them three. As a woman, being in a male-dominated profession, and they say, oh, okay, she knows what she's doing. They will now relax on you. You are not the one giving them the nickname. So it happens everywhere. Emotions is everywhere. So, but right with what we do, during when I was training, it was quite different. They can tell me, go and buy me food. You have to wash my overall this next Saturday. And if it's my big boss in the workshop, I'll say, okay, sir, but we have to share. It's not that they have to enslave you to do some certain things so that you don't start crying. I've never cried in the workshop. The only time I cried in the workshop was when I was sucking fuel from the tank of one vehicle like that. I was sucking fuel to be able to wash the engine, carburetor. Then there was no injector system like that in the 80s. So I drank some fuel, you know. Wrongly, I just hopped some fuel into my throat and, you know, some came out from my nose. And I like, wow, that was the only first time. And that was the test. Then that's the learning process as well. When that happened, it never happened again. So they laughed at me and it ended there. And some say, sorry, you see, we don't catch you. That was their language. So that is it. Emotions, you can't really take it into your workplace. If you do that, it causes a lot of ripples and hiccups for your job. That's what I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Sandra. I want to ask you something. And Pastor Femi said something. So let me see if I can link the two. I know that, just like you said, you were the only female mechanic in the place for quite a while. Even after you became accomplished, I know they call it doing your freedom, you did your freedom, it still took you to start training many young girls. And many families were resisting. But men are used to taking their cars to the mechanic workshop and meeting a gentleman. So when they came to the workshop and they met you, when you became fully platform now, you now owned your shop, how did they react to meeting you in charge? And Pastor Femi wanted to know how you handled being a mechanic and being an expectant mother. What took a backseat?
That's an interesting question. When I was in the workshop, expectant mother, we also go on leave like the ones, like the bankers go on leave. But in the workshop, you can still be in the workshop 2 weeks, even some days to when you are giving birth. You know, when we are inside the workshop, it's like, it's something you can't do without. In my automotive industry, it's very difficult for you to retire. When the way government offices, staff, they go on 35 years retirement. But when it comes to our own profession, you hardly find any unskilled professional going, you know, just leaving the job like that. So for us, as an expectant mother, few days to, you are still inside the workshop. It is now when you start feeling so uncomfortable and the date is very close. Or at times, I know I was in the workshop when my first daughter, when I spotted that, oh, I need to rush into the hospital, you know. It's not that it was almost falling out, but I felt something was coming out from my body. Oh, yeah, I had to run to the hospital. And I was still in the workshop attending to customers. That is when you know a strong woman. Women, we multitask. We are very strong when it comes to that. And those days when I was learning, training, my first day at the workshop, when I went with my dad to where I was fixing cars in 1985, the men we met there said to my father, no, she can't do this. You mean she wants to become a mechanic? Before they said Jack, I've already answered 3. I said, yes, Jesus said I should come and do this. This is the job I want to do for the rest of my life, you know. And they were saying to my father, because I was very young, like 11, 12 years old girl. I was wearing a short and I came with my dad to the workshop. I said, no, but she can't decide for herself. You are the father, you have to, before they asked my father anything, I told my dad, I'm not going back home with you. You have to register me today. I cried that day too, so that my dad will know I'm not going back home. I want to learn. That was the first time I can see that. In the workshop, they just told me, raise the engine block. I had some strength, man. Raise the engine block. You go to the toolbox, take 10, 11, bring it for us. I was jumping like a robot, you know. All my hands stained with oil, grease. And I was using it to rub all my body. You know why? Because I was so excited to be in that workshop that day. I saw one big engine dismantled on the table, the black engine oil running down. My spirit immediately fell in love with that. The news has gone around the neighborhood. There's one little girl in that workshop. She's learning how to fix cars. Before I closed that day, wow, children, they've gathered in front of the gates. And they were like pointing me. What are you doing in this workshop? This is not a woman's job. What are you doing there? When we closed that day, I've already alerted my Oga that I don't know, these children, I don't know what they are doing there. He said, don't mind them, just go home. My house was not far from my workshop, maybe like 15 minutes walk. When I was going home, they started running after me, you know, howling and shouting. We don't want to see you here again tomorrow. It's not a woman's job. I think that's the first time I cried home. And my father, my late father, said something to me. He said, let them laugh at you today. Tomorrow you'll be celebrated. And that gave me enough encouragement. I think that's another way you can talk about emotions. How did I feel during that process of training? Did I just run back home and join my mother full time in the kitchen to be making soup or making food? No. But I had to build that momentum within myself to say, you know what, this is a phase. And it will be off in no time. These people will come back to celebrate you. And today, thank God, thank goodness, I've been mechanic for 40 years, and I've empowered over 6,000 female mechanics in Nigeria in different areas of specialty, meeting the demand of the labor market in the automotive industry with companies, increasing their bottom line immediately. The lady mechanics, they don't need to look, you know, for a job. Not like you have a certificate, you are looking for a job. we don't even have enough to give to companies anymore. What am I trying to say? Even with the girls, we have empowered through entrepreneurship, accountability, skills, and also self-help. We still tell the emotions in the house with your husband, with children, cannot be taken to the workshop with your clients. Some of your clients can come, madam, how are you? You look good this morning. And you have to smile always. You know, these are different kind of emotion around women. I'll say to you, we have already tried in that aspect in being female mechanics. Thank you.
Sandra, I am actually curious. What was that name they were calling you that you won them? I don't know why I want to know, but honestly, that's always been in my head. Well, what was that name that they called you and you won them? I want to know. But honestly, that's always been in my head. Well, what?
In the workshop, being a woman, they were just thinking you have to be the one to sweep the whole workshop, carry the key to open the offices and everything. So since I'm the key holder, I keep the keys of the workshop. They started saying, oh, key holder, where's the key holder? Where's key holder? And I had to say, you know what? My name is not key holder. Even if I keep the keys for the office to be safe and the spare parts shop, you don't have to call me key holder. My name is Sandra. Don't you dare me call me key holder. And they all laugh. And we laugh over it. Because as a woman in a male-dominated profession, and you start crying in front of the men in the garage, wow, you have really, they will use you. They will use you in the sense that you buy food all the time, you wash, but if you stand your feet and you say, you know what, I don't have to cry. You stop it now, or I give you your own name. And they dare not do that again. Your respect, you start counting your respect from that time. That is the trick of the garage. Thank you.
Nice, isn't it? Patience, you have some messages. Thank you, Ma'am Sandra. Quite an interesting journey into history there.
Okay, so somebody says, Oga Fadipe, my ACA, strong man. I thank you, NTA. I thank you, NTA Weekend Deal, for bringing you out to the tube for us. You speak the truth, and that's the truth that we know you with. May God bless you and your children. May the soul of your late wife rest in peace. Good work, NTA. God bless the presenters, too. I remain Abba. Oh, okay. You know him? Okay. Someone now says, I am Chidima from Kwara State. What other ways do men express their emotions apart from crying? Also, if I'm crying and I stop crying, if somebody comes to console me, I will cry more. Why does it happen that way? That when she cries, I think you should react to that. When she cries and somebody tells her sorry, then the cry will come and double.
Yeah, because now somebody is validating the emotion, which is also necessary. So that validation, that's okay. You can see somebody encouraging you to express it. Yeah, if she's crying and say, what are you doing? She can feel withdrawn. That emotion can be sealed up and bottled up. But now there's a validation, there's an encouragement. And so she wants to release and express everything in it, which is also not bad.
Okay, somebody quickly now added, said, men don't cry, and that's why men die of heart attack. At some point, cry and ease the pain than alcohol. Cry eases the pain than alcohol. Tears is a medicine that you can't get in the market.
Yeah, and I think you should talk about it.
Yeah.
Just
communicate
to someone that you think will listen to you. The moment you say it out, you are a bit relieved.
But it also goes to say that they need to have built relationships.
Exactly.
You know, we must invest in valuable relationships, because anytime men have major issues, see what that person referenced. Yeah. Those who drink, they move straight to the bars.
Yes.
Sometimes they find it hard to talk to their partners. Mr. Fadipe, tell us about that. Why is it challenging for men to share with their partners? They'll go and spend precious money there. Meanwhile, there's somebody at home waiting to listen and is beckoning on you to speak. What limits them from doing that?
Well, like I said, if you have a friend, you'll be able to speak with your friend And initially I said, men should marry their friends. If you're at home and the wife nags, anything, oh, useless man, is it what your mates do? So when you have a challenge, you find it difficult to tell that kind of a woman, because it's like you are opening yourself up to another bashing from her. So the only thing is for the woman to just the man to walk out and find solace elsewhere. But if the relationship between the man and the wife is so cordial, he should be able to share whatever is going through with the woman. But most times, women should understand their men too. Okay, there was a time...
So there's extra work for us women.
By the grace of God.
We need to do a bit more. After all, he said we're emotional beings.
Yeah. Because there was a time I had a friend. Okay, there are about 3 of them. One, I think is a son now. This other guy now is late. But the wife is always comparing him with the other friend who was doing well in business. Oh, is this what your mates do? Your friends are in their own houses. We are in a rented apartment. Always until that marriage couldn't hold again. They broke down. They divorced. Do you understand what I'm saying now? Because this man cannot confide in the wife, because the wife is seeing him less of a man.
You know, when you said that, I just remember something very, very funny. It said, why are men not complaining to their wives? And somebody said, do you complain about malaria to mosquito? And as a woman, I was...
Sule makes us laughing, but we have also cried.
How can you complain about malaria?
To mosquito.
This was so angry. Eh? Are we the mosquito? Are we the malaria? What is this? Okay, let's go. They say our time is up.
We're talking about men that cry.
Yeah.
So have you ever cried?
Maybe after NTA knowledge story.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
nice,
NTA knowledge.
nice.
Okay.
NTA knowledge, take it from here.
I did water therapy.
Okay, no, when
is to become confident, empathetic, responsive, and responsible is very crucial in the critical roles the boys of today will play as men of tomorrow. Their emotional intelligence skill is key.
But yet we teach the girls how to sit down. We teach them menstruation. But the boys go through nocturnal emission. Boys also need to know how to sit down, how to talk, how to walk, how to relate to people. Nobody, we just want the men just get it and it doesn't work. And I say to the world, that beautiful woman, that beautiful daughter you are raising, if you don't raise the man that will live with him, the home will be a chaos. They will get married to monsters. Everybody will suffer. For us to have a formidable, a strong family system, our boys must be raised.
Societal expectations can shape how the boys express themselves. Suggesting boys should not cry or to suppress their emotions when hurt, according to the expert, is detrimental to their emotional well-being.
Telling boys not to show expression is emotional dysfunction. A lot of them grow up, with that mindset. All they understand about masculinity is to just man up, is to be frown, is to shut up when you are feeling down. So our boys grow up not understanding emotional intelligence, not even understanding what it means for somebody to be in pain, because all they've known is to be shutting. So most of the things we see in our boys today when it comes to emotion are societal upbringing.
Socialization, the environment where children are raised, has a great influence on their adult life. How does this affect the boy child?
Most children can't even connect to their fathers because all they know is to scream. When he's coming back, everybody is running because Tiger is coming back. But that is what the boys are also seeing, and as they grow, they practice the same thing. So we can see the ripple effect of that today with the number of boys in the prison, the number of issues we are having with men, the kind of leaders we are even seeing around us. Everybody is suffering for the ripple effect of a broken man. So it's glaring all over the world around us that the kind of men we are seeing today is a function of the foundation that was not properly met.
Fathers and male figures should be intentional about life, as boys naturally want to model after them.
Every boy is a product of who he has seen. And so when our men keep doing this, when we don't keep teaching our boys right or modeling how a man should respond emotionally, they grow up repeating the same vicious circle. And everybody suffers. What we see is how toxic they are, how violent they are, how destructive they are. But we forget the foundation that if they were taught better, then they will live and act better.
Teaching emotional intelligence in school can have a lasting impact on the boys and their overall development.
We need to begin to show our boys empathy. Show them that you can also have feelings. Somebody is doing something, you can express. You learn to say sorry, learn to show empathy, learn to know that a man is not just by being macho. Your strength as a man is not in your fist, but your ability to navigate through situation emotionally and stand strong as a man.
By raising boys with emotional intelligence and empathy, we are creating a brighter future.
Okay, it's very simple, really. If you pinch me, I'm going to feel the pain and probably cry. You know, if you tickle me, I'll probably smile or laugh. So I respond to whatever, gets to me. So if I cry as a man or a boy, please, the society should just allow me. I'm just expressing my emotions and probably it will heal me. So please don't tell me don't cry. Please don't tell me don't cry. Unfortunately, I always believe that there's a new reawakening, new realization because of the way knowledge travels now, social media, people are talking about these issues and then it becomes a national discourse. Now, people are beginning to realize that it is okay. You can cry. Unfortunately, for us men, especially the new fathers, we tend to have that mentality somehow. If you have a male child, like, men don't cry. You don't, your brother, you want them to, look at you with different eyes. No, you have to man up and all of that, but it's really not healthy. So at the end of the day, we just allow them to express themselves. After all, we are human beings.
So gradually, I want to thank you for being on the show today. First female mechanic in Nigeria and Africa. Big ups to you. Keep raising strong, resilient men, well-grounded. Thank you for being on the show today.
For inviting me. Thank you.
Okay, Madam Sandra, I hope you're not leaving us because I have some messages here. Somebody says men are also very emotional. They don't want to display it because it's an act that shows weakness. When a man cries, his hope is totally done. Wow, that's what he thinks. Good morning, Weekend Deals, and honorable guest. I applaud Lady Mechanic for her courage to break into the society that's often seen as a male profession. I can see that she's very good in what she does. Who said women can't do what men do better? Society should stop stifling women. They should be allowed to pursue their dreams, any profession they want at all. Mbanu Gondubisi from Port Harcourt. Thank you. I am reaching from Abiekuta. My name is Osukpe Christopher. Good morning. I want to appreciate you all in respect of shedding light on emotion. Must one cry when there is a tense situation? My own take is simply remain calm. Relax your mind. Comport yourself. Give some minutes and to work out the solution, an answer will come. Then you'll be able to work out the solution. That's when insight, foresight, bravery, courage, self-control, consistency takes control. This must be someone who...
Yes, sir.
Some people have a mindset that makes them cry a lot. Have a great day. Osupe. See me now, sir. Well done, sir. Once in a while, let it out. You might feel better. I think you're okay now until one day you cry. I'm like, have I been missing this? Just let it out. Yeah. Okay. My name is Emmanuel from Ekiti. A man can cry because I keep crying for what my mommy and my daddy have done for me. They make me cry all the time. I wonder what that is. Good day, everyone in the house. Thank you for an amazing program. It's so wonderful listening to all of you in the studio. Keep it up. I am Damian by name from Plateau State. Good morning, beautiful presenter and your guest. we have really learned a lot this morning, and may God bless you all. Alahaji Gako Karusite Abuja. There are so many messages.
But let's let our guests wrap up.
Yes, wrap
Please,
up.
quickly, Pastor Femi, you talked about the young boys and the men. Can we just tie it together as you wrap up?
Yeah, the effect of boys don't cry is different from the effect on the men. Yeah, for the boys, it starts with self-worth. Yeah, they lose the self-identity when they can't express emotion. I must also quickly add that crying is not the only way to express emotion.
Yes.
Yeah, the emotion, when we come to emotional intelligence, you may be able to express your emotion beyond just crying. So, but it affects majorly among the teenagers when they are self-worth. But as we come into adulthood, like men, it affects their relationships. They may not even be able to relate well with their spouses, like a man, yeah, because, and that is where we are talking about somebody kidnapping, this kind of merciless thing, is because the emotions he's not been taught on how to express emotions, he's been bottled up, and he can't even feel emotions for others. So when you say you are emotional, he can't relate with it because from his teenage childhood age, he's been denied the expression of emotions. So these things have effect at different stages of life.
When is mental health care necessary or attention in situations like this? As you wrap up, Major Fadipe.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about therapy.
Yes.
Because most times a man is used to a certain line of action. He does not laugh, he does not cry, he's just rigid. And it's affecting him, it's affecting the household. So the therapy comes through from the mental health practitioners. You can go to them, they will let him know that he can still change. They will give him insight into how to go about it. So mental health practitioners are needed in those kind of.
Okay. So is it easy for men to walk in and seek help or assistance from mental health practitioners, psychologists?
That's just part of the problem because he's not wired that way. So going into such system to seek help is also another problem on its own because he's not like told that you can actually. It's not seen as a problem in the first place. You understand? So it's part of his makeup, it's part of his build-up, and that is what really needs to change.
And that's the essence of this program.
Good, that's it. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Thank God you're in the military. There was a military icon, one of our legends, that was said that he never laughed, that he never cried. Okay. Is it true? Just say yes or no. I want to know. I don't want to call his name, but he's a legend. We love him. They say he never laughed, he never cried.
I think so.
He never cried, he never laughed.
Well, I won't know whether, but what we see.
Yes.
At least.
But you know, it's normal.
Yes,
it's normal that men don't cry in public. They go indoors. But it's possible it happened indoors.
But you know, something happened.
He never laughed too.
What? We can't. But I have a problem. Because I will say it again. When I was in Mina prison, I didn't actually know I was bottling up something. One day I was leaving I think the only place that you can relax was at the clinic. So I left the clinic going to my cell. And in the middle of the road, I just dropped.
Wow. Finally, the emotions had to come out.
Exactly. So the doctor now said, please, you have to express yourself. You are bottling a lot of things, and my BP went up.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
So
Isaac, let's ask you. Isaac, do you find it easy to express yourself?
Emotionally?
Do you think it's okay to cry?
I think it's very okay to cry as a man, but the thing is, usually you find it kind of difficult to actually relate to people because you fear you might be judged, or
might be judged.
Sometimes you just feel it's best. Sometimes you feel it's best to keep things to yourself because you can't really relate to people. Because, I've had situations where I bottle things up and just think for days, and it usually doesn't help, but sometimes I feel...
But please let it out, let it out. Let it out with great music now.
Yeah, sing away your emotions.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey.
I say, Paddy, no vex for me. See, I never call you saints, but I hope that you are well, and I hope your mind gets well. Every day I pray for you. Make you, Baba, God bless you. I never forget you, I will forget you. See my shoulder, make you rest upon me. You know I got you, now me be your friend indeed. I'm all the money don't show now, I don't keep some for you. You know go suffer, cause anything I get now for me and you, yeah. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Do you do, my friend? See, I know sometimes it be like say nobody sends you. That's when I lie, I did for you, my friend. How are you, my friend? Oh, how do you do, my friend? See, I know sometimes it be like say nobody sends you. That's when I lie, I did for you, my friend. I did for you, my friend. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's do